There ain't much there, but there's a little bit of love in my pants tonight. Come on, bitch, yeah. Anyways, speaking of small things, so I guess there's this new controversy over, what is it, Wolfenstein, Berenstein Bears, whatever the fuck it is, where they're using the catchphrase, shit, how's it go? Something, the only good Nazi's a dead one, or something like that. And you've got all these Christian conservatives who are completely butthurt over the fact. Now, I don't understand that. I really don't. Because, see, what? I'm sorry, but this whole Donald Trump thing just pisses me the fuck off. Because you got people who will defend him with everything that they have and everything that they are as a person. They will defend him. He can grab him by the pussy. He can, whatever. They will defend him. And, oh, he's of God, and blah, 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 blah. They will defend him to the point of, they don't care that it looks like they're on the side of Nazis. This is people from our church, for fuck's sake. Okay. Now, I don't like Donald Trump. Because he's a lying son of a bitch. He goes, well, I'm a Christian just like you. No, you're not a Christian just like me. Because guess what? If you were a Christian just like me, guess what? You would have a Christian testimony. I am a son of a bitch. I am a piece of shit. I say fuck all the time. Yet I have a Christian testimony. I need Jesus Christ. I am a sinner, saved by grace. I need Jesus Christ. And fuck, even if you're an atheist. Okay. And if, let's just say that consciousness isn't energy. Energy is not created nor destroyed. Well, guess what? You cannot raise yourself from the dead. You need Jesus Christ. Even if you're an atheist, you need Jesus Christ. Okay. I can't raise myself from the dead. I need Jesus Christ. Okay. That's my Christian testimony. Can Trump say the same thing? That he would lower himself to say that he is in need? That he needs someone else? That he needs Jesus Christ to save him? What'd he say? Oh, I don't bring God into that. Oh, what do you mean you don't bring God into that? Do you need salvation? I don't bring God into that. And yet Christians are like, oh my God, it's from God. Oh, Jesus. These people are fucking idiots. They're fucking straight up idiots. They want him to be something that he's not, and he's willing to pretend that he is. He has no Christian testimony. If he were... Listen, I could deal with the fact that, okay, let's say he got saved, I love Jesus, I want to be with Jesus, and then he fucks up. He goes back into his old ways, he grabs him by the pussy, he does all that stuff. I could deal with that. Why? Because we're all sinners and we will fuck up. I say fuck. I say fuck. I just said fuck. Guess what? I'm grieving the Spirit. I said fuck. I said it again. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I said it again. Okay. I cannot be hypocritical and say, well, okay, I sin all the time. I fuck up all the time. So yeah, if he fucks up and goes back into his old ways, that's one thing. But you will know a tree by its fucking fruit, the Bible says. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit. And a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. I have not once, and now I'm trying to be objective. Has Donald Trump shown any good fruit at all? And I'm trying to be objective because I'll be honest with you, I don't like the guy. I just don't like the guy. I don't like what he stands for. I don't like the bullshit. He's petty. He's an asshole, and I don't like him. So I am trying to be objective when I say that. Is there good fruit there? I'll be honest with you, I don't see it. Now you look at somebody like Obama, and everybody's like, "Oh, Obama's a son of a bitch. He's King Obama. He's this, that, and the other." I don't know, man. Does Obama love his children? I think anybody would say yes. Does he love his wife? I could definitely say yes to that. Can you say the same thing about Trump? Does Trump actually love his wife? I don't know. You look at their inauguration day. He came storming out of the limo, left his wife back in the back seat with the stupid present. Okay, and the Obamas had to come down and open the door and help her up and, greet her while he's just stomping around and go. Okay, I'm sorry, that's not how you treat your wife. You don't treat your wife like that. Not on a day like that. Okay? I'm sorry, that's just bullshit to me. And I'm not even married, and that's bullshit to me. Now, am I looking for trouble? Am I looking for problems? Maybe. I don't know. But I saw him do that, and it just completely turned me off to his bullshit. More so than I had already been. So I admit, I am coming at him in a negative way. I don't like him at all. I don't like what he stands for. I don't know how to word it. Something about him just does not compute with me. There's something about him that is off, and and I see all these Christians like, oh my God, it was God. God put him in office because Hillary emailed. Hillary. Oh, thank Jesus. Okay, that just sets me off somehow. Because there's a lot of reasons. I don't feel like getting into the whole issue of that, but I want to get back to the point. Because I don't understand how born-again Christians can love this guy the way they do, almost cult-like. And believe me, our church knows a little bit about occults. Okay. How they can love this guy, turn a complete blind eye to everything he does. Now, I understand the Bible, like, oh, King David did this, and King David did that, and blah, 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 and he killed this and did that, and alright, fine. And the argument is, well, if God waited for us to get right, nothing would ever get done, so he has to use flawed human beings. That's the frickin' argument. Yeah, it's funny how that argument didn't apply to Obama. But okay. And it's like, no matter what Trump does, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, I understand from a Christian point of view, if he's saved, then he's, quote unquote, under the blood of Jesus, which means his sin is blotted out. We don't see it, even though he's doing it right in our face. Literally, he could whip his dick out and slap it in our face, and we don't see that. Okay, that's basically the word picture. And I get that. But what that does is it paints a blind eye to everything he could possibly do that's wrong, so that no one ever calls him out on it. Say, hey, guess what? I think you're wrong here. And you got born-again Christians like, oh my God. And if you call out Donald Trump and say, I don't like what he's doing here, oh, you're just a libtard. You're just a libtard. You're an unsaved libtard. No. Now, another part of my Christian testimony is this. If your political party, their bullshit does not line up with all the words that Jesus spoke, then your political party is full of fucking shit. Okay, and that goes for the conservatives. Well, it's either the conservatives or the Democrats. I'm sorry. That's not how God works. God does not tell you, bend over for your political party, let them run amok and do nothing. You are to hold them accountable. And even if you take God and Bible and all that stuff out, even as Americans, I'm sorry, these politicians run around like they're rock stars and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Dude, they make $170,000 a year. And then have the nerve to tell some fry cook, oh, you can't have more than minimum wage, and it's got to be under like $10. Shut the fuck up. Okay, because $7 and whatever odd cents it was cute 15 years ago. I don't know about anybody else, but fucking prices have gone up. Okay. The price of fucking meat's gone up. The price of fucking bread's gone up. Everything has gone up, except for the minimum fuck wage. Now, even if you gave them $15 an hour. Now, again, $15 an hour 10 years ago was great. $15 an hour 20 years ago was, like, unheard of. Okay. Nowadays, you get $15 an hour, that's nothing. Seriously, if you raise the minimum wage to $10, $10 and something, that is absolutely nothing in today's market. And yet they don't give a fuck. But I don't want to get into that. My beef is this. I don't understand. I wish the fuck I could live in a universe where I could say that my fellow Christians don't support Nazis. I can't say that. I go to Facebook. I see people from church saying, "Oh, we gotta support Trump and click like and share. And do you support Trump? And Trump is great. And Trump and Trump and Trump and Trump and Trump." All the while Trump is saying stupid shit like, "Oh yeah, there was good people on both sides." And one of those sides happens to be Nazis. How is there good people in the Nazis? Now, I think what he meant to say was that, okay, you had a bunch of conservative Christians who were just idiots. And I'm not saying conservative Christians are idiots, but I'm saying these particular ones are idiots. And they were... See, no, I'm going to say it. They're fucking idiots. Because... fuck the Nazis. Let's take the Nazis the fuck out. The idea that a conservative Christian is up in arms over Confederacy shit and Confederacy flags. First off, they were fucking traitors. They were assholes. They wanted slavery. The North said, guess what? We either make slavery a thing across the board, every state, or we don't. And we're going to opt to make these people free. We're going to opt to make all men free, whether it doesn't matter what fuck color they are. Okay. Now, granted, they were still 3/5 of a person back then. They couldn't vote, all that. And they were illiterate. They were illiterate. They weren't educated. So, we're gonna take these Negroes and we're just gonna, whatever. Don't get me started with that shit. And the fucking Confederates were like, no, we don't want to get rid of that shit. Because why? It all goes back to the fucking money. Because guess what? If the North wasn't doing it and the South was doing it, again, guess what? The South would be having basically slave labor. Well, they didn't have to pay them anything to, yes, pick the cotton and whatever, sugarcane or whatever else the fuck they have in the South. And it would fuck up the economy. That's basically all it was. Actually, that's the only reason they went with... that was really the deciding factor. We either keep the slaves or we don't. And if we don't, it's got to be universal because, again, the South can't have them picking the cotton and bullshit for free while we're, paying them 15 cents an hour. It all came back down to the money. So either way, both sides were kind of fucked up. In the arguments, well, even George Washington had slaves, and this one had slaves, and that one had slaves. So fucking what? So fucking what if they had slaves? Here's the newsflash. Yes, they all had slaves. Is it right? No. Was it good? No. But at some point, a certain group said, let's not have slaves. And the other certain group said, no, we want to have slaves. Okay, that's what the whole thing was about. That's what the whole thing was about. And so you've got Christian conservatives today in 2017 saying, we should have Robert E. Lee or whatever the fuck statue it was. We shouldn't be taking that down. It's destroying our history. It's our history. And Southern pride. Southern pride in what? Being fucking wrong? Being fucking assholes? Being fucking racist? Well, because the Confederate flag, it's not about racism. Oh, then what is it about? What is it about? It's about rebellion. Yeah, against the fucking states, against the fucking country that decided we're not going to have slavery anymore. You're rebelling against the United fucking States and its collective. Yet you're now bent out of fucking shape because some jerk off decides he's gonna bow a fucking knee during a football game. Okay? Yet you want to hold your little Confederate flag up and be like, God bless America. No, motherfucker. No, motherfucker. You ain't, seriously, if you ain't flying the stars and stripes, you're a fucking heathen prick. You're an asshole. Okay? You're a traitor as fuck, is what you are. You're a piece of shit. Little Robert E. Lee motherfucker is what you are. I dare anybody to say it nicer. So even if you take the Nazis the fuck out, the fact that Christians are butthurt over Confederacy stuff, dude, I am telling you, there has to be alternate fucking universes. You want to talk about the goddamn Mandela effect? I'll tell you right now, there was a dash in Kit Kat, and you can kiss my dick all the way to Sunday. Because there was a fucking dash in that goddamn thing, and I know there was. There was. I know there was. I know for a damn fact there was a dash in there. Because I used to buy them by the case. I know what I'm talking about. Whether it was CERN or what the fuck ever, or two universes collided and collapsed into each other, or some fucking bullshit, or our original universe collapsed and my consciousness got teleported into like another version of me, which is just as fucked up as the one I was in before, which is devastating to me on a collective. Because no, I couldn't get teleported. This consciousness couldn't get teleported into like a attractive version of me with a big dick and a big bank account. No. Had to get in the like, lowest common denominator. Okay. I now woke up in a world where Christian people are going completely against the Bible. They're loving money openly. They love Donald Trump. They love Confederacy stuff. They will support the fucking Nazis. Well, actually, they'll support Donald Trump, who supports the Nazis, who they, in and of themselves, will turn a blind eye to. Okay. I have awoken in this alternate universe of stupid. Like, okay, I'll give you another example. This is my own personal pet peeve of this reality. I go on Facebook a lot, and I see some outlandish fucking shit. But I'm sorry. If you are an obese, and I mean like rotund, now I'm not talking curvy, like sexy curvy, maybe a little thick-titted. I'm talking filthy bitches wearing a two-piece. Okay, fat women should not be wearing a two-piece. I should not be in a two-piece. I should not be in a thong. You don't see me in these things. I'm not a woman, but you're not going to see me in that stuff. Okay. I go on there. Oh my God, I went in there the other day. I think it was either Yahoo or People or some liberal fucking shit. And it was liberal-ish. Okay, SJW warrior bullshit. There is this woman, relatively cute in the face, but she decided she's not going to shave. And she's going to make a stand, and she's going to take pictures of her hairy fucking legs. The fucking bitch looked like Sasquatch. No, Sasquatch. She has more hair on her fucking legs than I do. Okay. Now, okay, there might be a, chemical imbalance on my end, but the bitch has got a jungle on her fucking legs. Now, I'm sorry, if I want to saddle up with that shit, I'll go fucking date a dude. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. I don't want to scroll down and see Sasquatch legs. Like, I'm not going to shave anymore because, no, you're a fucking piece of shit. I don't want to see that. Go fuck yourself. You want to take your little feminism and shit? Fine, great. But don't show me. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. I'd rather spoon a dude than see that shit. That shit, and it was coarse, fucking, it looked like one of those Brillo pads, for fuck's sake. Like, the bitch could do dishes with her thighs. I don't want to see that. Like, could you understand? I lay in the bed, and I got the tablet with, like, an inch from my face, and I'm scrolling. I use my middle finger, and I scroll, and all of a sudden I see these Sasquatch legs, they're inches from my face, and it's like, I don't want to see that. It's just the universe that I live in. There used to be a time when it was like, you know, dignity and respect, and there was this you know, respect your elders. Dude, fucking kids don't respect their elders for shit. Now, I understand that's been a declining thing, but holy fuck. Like, I would never think about going up to an adult and saying, hey, fat fuck. I don't think I ever would have done that as a child. Okay. But seriously, you want to talk about Mandela effect? I am living in a world where Christian conservatives defend Nazis. And I can't say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they don't support Nazism. I want to be able to say that. Like, oh, the people we went to church with were not Nazi supporters. I wish the fuck I could say that. I don't see it. Maybe it's just Facebook not showing me their posts where they denounce such fucking things. Well, all I see is, oh, I love Trump. Trump is great. Liberal turd. Do. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's not about libtard, you fucking moron. It's about, do you support Nazis? Yes or no? Do you support the Nazis? Yes or no? Donald Trump. No. Do you support the Nazis? Fuck you. Do you support Nazism? That's what you've got to ask yourself. If the answer is no, okay, fine. But the idea that we even have to have this discussion in 2017, do you support Nazism? And you can't just outright say no. That's a fucking problem. No, that's not what Donald Trump said. Do you support Nazis? Well, that's not what Trump said. Do you support... The fact you can't just say, no, I don't support the Nazis. There's a problem. There's a goddamn problem. Now, I'm sorry. But it pisses me off. It just pisses me off. Because... I said this before, I'll say it again. The worst thing I ever did was take Bible fuck college. Worst goddamn thing I ever fucking did. Because they're a bunch of... Dude, I don't know what the problem is. It has to be me. I want the problem to be me. Because then I can say, okay, I am the problem. I get the fact that I am a problem. But when I hear pastors that we went to church with say shit, I remember what they taught us. I'm not stupid. I know what they taught us. And then I hear when it comes to their political party of choice, which is not the liberals, okay, they turn a blind eye to all of that. And they just make excuses. Now, I'm sorry. But it fucking pisses me off that, oh, we're Christian conservatives because, you know, conservatism, they stand up, you know, against abortion and stuff. I mean, seriously, oh my God, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Do they really fucking think that Paul Ryan gives two cocksuckers about abortion and the morality thereof? The only reason the GOP are not for abortion is because a bunch of rich people don't want to have to pay for it. That's all. That's all. You're supporting something. Yeah, and you know what? I actually agree with it. I am against abortion. Don't misunderstand me. I don't like the idea. And in a perfect world, it is what it is. What about rape and incest and the life of the mother? Listen, yeah, I said in a perfect world. Okay, so I'm not gonna. Is there some leeway there? Whatever. That's not for me to decide. All I know is I prefer it didn't happen. Let's just put it that way. But the fact is, they don't give a damn about any of that. They simply don't want to pay for it. They don't want to pay for it. That's it. So you've got Christian conservatives who are maybe on the right side of things, but they're supporting people who are against it for the wrong fucking reasons. I don't think that makes a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. But apparently it does in this universe. Apparently this universe that I woke up into, where the other one supposedly had died, like around 2012-ish, is when people pinpointed it. We apparently, our original universe, speaking of fucking universes, holy shit. There used to be that image where you'd see like the Milky Way and there's a arrow and it says, "You are here." Well, you look at that shit now, we're not there. Okay, because it was, let's see, like if you're looking directly at the Milky Way, it was a little bit off-center toward the, well, as you're looking at it, it'd be the left. That's where we used to be. And now we're down like around the back end of it. I mean, I don't know, man. You want to talk about Mandela fucking effect? I think we're on a whole fucking different planet in a whole different part of the system. I really do. I'm starting to believe it because, holy fuck. Donald goddamn Trump is our fucking president. Do you understand that? Christian conservatives were pissing and complaining that Obama was King Obama making laws, yet this motherfucker wants to make his own goddamn laws, and they're like, oh, okay. I mean, this motherfucker wants to get information on people that disagree with him. Do you understand that? Do you understand what kind of world that would be if we lived in? Where certain places like Facebook and Twitter and whatnot have to give up personal information because the government demands it. What is this? Animal fuck farm? 1984? What the fuck are we talking about? Orwell? I mean, the fuck are you talking about? I don't know, man. But this is a fucked up universe. I'm sorry. You got Sasquatch bitches on Facebook thinking it's great that they didn't shave and look at me, I'm exercising my feminism. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Feminism isn't about shaving your legs. It should be about you being empowered to do basically what you want to do. Okay, so you don't want to shave your legs. Okay, fine. That's not feminism. That's just nasty. You know? You want to be a fucking astronaut? Go ahead. You want to be a teacher? Go ahead. Although I find it ironic that, let's say you're a woman and you want, engage in feminism, but you want to be a house mom. Well, no, that's taboo. You can't be a house mom and be a feminist. You got to be a lawyer or a doctor or something. What the fuck? Give me a break with that shit. I don't understand why you're gonna look down on somebody who wants to take care of their children. How that's somehow non-feminist. That's bullshit to me. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. That's neither here nor there. I don't want to get into that. But seriously, we are living in a stupid fucking universe. I mean, honest to God, dude, 2012, and I even agree with it. Excuse me. That there was a change. There was a literal fucking change. Everything was. Excuse me. Fuck my throat in the ass. There was a literal change where things went completely in a different direction. Okay. Some may be good, some may be bad. Like, marriage is not between a man and a woman anymore. It's between whatever. Love is love, which is bullshit. I'm sorry. It's love. Love is love. But seriously, it's like, love is love. Really? Really? Do you realize that marrying for love is a relatively new thing? Like, 2,000 years. Like, literally, Jesus invented that shit. Because before that, people didn't marry for love. I mean, shit, look at the Old Testament. You go into the woman's tent, make love to the woman, and you're married. Okay. That was marriage in the Old Testament. Okay. So, to sit there and say, well, they're marrying for love. No, they didn't. I mean, basically what you had back then is, let's say King A wanted to expand his territory. He'd marry off his daughter to King B, to his prince, and they would expand their land. That's how they did it. There was no love. There was no love. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm getting married for love, guys. You know, I love myself. Can I marry myself? No. I love my shoe. Can I marry my shoe? No. Okay, so it's bullshit. It sounds cute. Oh, they're married and they love each other and it's all about love. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay. Very few people marry for love. It's a fact. They marry for lust. They do. They marry because the bitch got pregnant. They do. Very few people actually marry because of love. They think it's love, but they don't know any better. Okay. Now again, some people do. Some people do find, oh, they show me. They show me. Whatever. What? I've got such a jaded version of that shit. Seriously, between the Jews and my parents. Seriously, I have our fucking church, actually. Now, yeah, I went to church at the Assembly of God. I went to church at Greater. I mean, dude, some of them bitches left their husbands like high and fuck dry. They were banging everybody in town. Okay, there's a couple that were like big name families, especially in the Greater Grace. Holy shit. I'm not mentioning names, but there was a couple. One in particular, this weirded me out. They were nice people, and it was just like, oh, we're getting divorced, and she's literally like just banging the fuck out of everybody in town. It's like, really? Now I can see if he had an affair or something. Maybe you go out and have an affair. I could kind of maybe see that, but she was just, I mean, them legs were spread like fucking eagles and shit, okay? And it's like, you're gonna tell me it's all about love and, you know, the sanctity of marriage. We got all these politicians, Republicans talking about sanctity of marriage. I mean, seriously, honest to Christ, between Newt Gingrich, Donald Trump, and Rush Limbaugh, they could start a baseball team. How many wives they've got? Ex-wives. I mean, sure, they could start a fucking ball team. And I'm talking like in October, like 27-man roster. Okay. Honestly, God, they got like, I don't know the math, but they got quite a few, just those three guys alone. So this idea that marriage is for, it's for love. It's about love. Dude, I love a lot of stuff, but I can't marry it all, I'm sorry, the idea that shit was, I'm sorry, I don't agree with I don't agree with the definition change. Now, I'm not against homosexuals. I'm not against them in that sense. Like if they wanted something like, I don't know, civil unions or something, I'd be all over that. I'd be fine. Do what you got to do. Equal rights, fine. Do what you got to do. But changing Webster Dictionary, that pisses me off. That just does. That irritates me. Because I can't change Webster Dictionary. Okay. I look up Tom Cruise in the dictionary. I don't see a picture of myself. I can't change shit. I can't change reality like that. I can't do that. I can't look up marriage and say, oh, I want to marry my Nintendo. I want to marry my Nintendo Switch. Okay, I can't do that. I can't marry a Switch. Oh, but our love won't be denied. Well, why the fuck not? I mean, if we're living in such a stupid fucking world where anything goes, and there's no limit, and there's literally no bounds that can't be crossed, then fucking hey, I want to marry whatever the fuck I want. I want to marry my front lawn. I mean, seriously, I want to literally drill a hole and fuck it at night, and just curl up next to my pedicured lawn in the middle of the night. I want to spoon it and shit. Okay. But, you know, I can't do that. They won't let me do that. So to me, it's unfair, quite frankly. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't want to put up with somebody else. I don't want to put up with another person. You know? I ain't got time for that shit. But, you know, hey, whatever. Anyway, I don't want to talk about any of that stuff. I mean, and don't get me wrong when I say that. I don't like homosexuality. I just don't like it. But I'm not going to sit there and trash a homosexual because they're homosexual. Because I'm not... See, it pisses me off. You got all these fucking Christians, and it's just... They're so quick to label and to list everyone else's sin except their own. Like, judgmental prick. They don't ever register that one. They don't ever write that one on their little sign, you know? It's like, oh, you're a whoremonger, you're this, you're that, you're something else, you're, you know, whatever. You masturbate, you're this, that. Hey, goddamn right I masturbate. It's the only thing I got in my life that works. Literally the only part of my body that actually works proper. And that's barely. Okay, I'm pushing 40. Or no, shit, I am 40. Fucking ain't no pushing. I'm pushing Daisy here in a minute. Okay, I am lucky that my dick still work. So you goddamn right I'm looking at the porn. Okay. You know, it gets lonely. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie about that shit. I had nothing to fucking hide. You know? So you said, oh, well, you know what? Hey, guess what? I could get all, you know, legalistic with you too and start labeling your fucking sins. And what good does that do? It's not what Jesus taught. Jesus didn't do that to the woman at the well. Didn't call her a fucking whore and a slut. No, he didn't. He didn't acknowledge that shit. Who did he go after? He went after the fucking the publicans and the Pharisees and the fuckacies, and he basically went after the political leaders. It was like, hey, you without sin cast the first stone, go fuck yourself. Is basically what he said. So, I mean, who is... It's far and away beyond me to sit there and label somebody else's sins and we were sinners horrible, and I don't do that. Well, you know what? I do 5 other things that are just as bad. Okay? Somewhere along the lines, Christians got the idea that they need to bash people over the fucking head with the Bible. That is not what Christ did. Christ did not bash people over the head with the Bible. You want to know an interesting fact? Now, I've gone through the whole comparing Donald Trump to the Antichrist. You want to know another one that's kind of interesting? Is that sinners actually loved Jesus. They did. They went to him. And no, they didn't all believe in him in the sense of, we're going to follow you. They went and got cured and healed. But not all of them followed. And Jesus even mentioned that. About how they were, you know, basically assholes for doing that. But if you look at how Jesus was, the wicked people flocked to him. And the religious leaders rejected him. Now let's look at Donald Trump. It's the exact opposite. You would think that the libtard, Hollywood, libtards, whatever the conservatives want to call them, all those people should love Donald Trump, if that's the case. Because they are the sinners. They are the ones who are supposed to be the sinners. And the Christian leadership are the ones who are supposed to, you know, reject him. It's the exact opposite of what it's supposed to be. I mean, seriously, you look at Jesus. The religious leaders of his day rejected him. What are the religious leaders of today doing? Are they rejecting Donald Trump? No, they're jumping on board with the son of a bitch. I mean, think about that. If he is of God, That's what they're looking at. He's of God, so we have to be on his side. We have to defend him at every cost. Well, guess what? Religious leaders didn't defend Jesus. They called him a blasphemer and wanted to put him to death. And all the people who were sinners went to Jesus. In this case, all the sinners, i.e. the Hollywood liberals, reject Trump. So Trump is Antichrist just on that level alone. It's a fact. And people can't handle the fact. Literally, they can't handle the truth. And it's sad. It's like they want... See, the problem is Christians need Donald Trump to be a Christian. Because they couldn't vote for Mitt Romney. Because Mitt Romney was a Mormon. And they're like, well, that's occultic and we don't like Mormons and whatever. Now, Mormonism is kind of stupid. I'm sorry, even if you're a diehard Mormon, you gotta listen to some of that shit and be like, that is kind of stupid. Between the super underpants, the magical underpants, and the gold leaf tablets and shit, some of that stuff, you gotta question. You gotta question some of that shit. You just do. But I take it by faith. Okay, fine, but it's still stupid nonetheless. I mean, it is what it is. I'm a firm believer. If anybody is in a place where they essentially force people to take their eyes off of Christ and put it on them, then they're assholes. Carl Stevens did that. Carl Stevens did that a lot. Now, I don't think he meant to do that necessarily. I don't think it was a deliberate thing, but he did do that. Trump does that all the time. The Pope does that. I mean, hell, the Pope even is like, I am God on earth. Okay. Well, that's evil. That's fucking evil. Brigham Young. All that shit. All this shit is evil. If you think you are more important than Jesus is the man who died for our sins and rose from the dead, you think you're more important than that, then guess what? You might be in a cult. You might be in one. You just might be. Okay? Because any man thinks he's something special, usually going to find out he's an asshole. Okay? It's like when Jesus said, in the end times that many will say, oh, I'm in the desert. Well, don't believe him. Or I'm up in the mountains. Don't believe him. You will know the coming of the Son of Man because you're going to come in the clouds and you're going to know when he's here. So this idea that, well, I'm God's man for 40 years. Again, people who say that need to get kicked in the dick. I'm sorry. People who say that they've been studying the Bible for 40 years are idiots. Because the Bible says even at our best, we're so far from God. None of us know the Bible as we should. So you sit there and know it for 40 years, you should know you're full of shit. That's essentially what the Bible is. It's a book telling you you're full of shit. That even when you think you got it figured out, you don't. So people, I've studied for 40 years, I know what the Bible says. You're full of shit. That right there proves you're full of shit. And I don't know. Stuff like that just irritates me. All the people thinking they're something special. Like, I don't think I'm something special. I don't care if people listen to me. I don't care if people agree with me. I think I'm right, but hey, guess what? That's between you and God. And if people get offended by the fact that I say fuck and don't want to hear anything else after that, hey, guess what? Guess what? Then I guess I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to the people who don't give a fuck that I said fuck. Okay? I'm trying to reach those people. If you're offended by the fact that I said fuck and you don't want to hear another word that I say, fine, guess what? It wasn't meant for you. Or maybe it was and you were supposed to overlook, whatever. I don't know. But whatever. But seriously, it's dumbfounding to me that I even have to question, do you believe in Nazism? Are you a fucking Nazi, dear Christians? Because I'll be honest with you, up until this point, I didn't know Nazis existed. I mean, at least in the sense of like organized. I knew there was skinheads and shit in like prison and stuff. That's just because stupid white people, they don't know any better. That, they got to stick with their own and shit like that, especially in prison sense. But the fact that it's so organized, which leads me to believe we're in an alternate universe, but that's neither here nor there. Because where I come from, there wasn't. The Nazis, yeah, David Duke was running around acting like a jerk, but, this wasn't something where they're going to be doing protests and shit in the street and have a president actually be like, oh, there's good people on both sides, bad people on both sides, whatever. And here's the newsflash about that. Even if you want to sit there and say, oh, Black Lives Matter, there's just some political organization run by George Soros who, pays all these people to come in and protest. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? That's not even remotely close to being on the radar of giving a fuck. Even if they are paid protesters to cause trouble, they're still not Nazis. They're still not Nazis. They're still not the Nazis. They are not the Nazis. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care if George Soros paid billions of dollars to come up with some sort of machine that turned dead fetuses into Frankensteins and they're all crawling around in the streets protesting and killing everybody. I don't care. Nazi fetuses are not the same thing as, or zombie fetuses are not the same thing as a Nazi. I'm sorry, it's not. Zombie fuck fetuses. I don't care. It's apples to oranges. It's completely apples to oranges. You can't deny that. So you want to sit there and say, well, there's no apple there. They're all oranges. No, you're full of shit. Stick an apple up your fucking ass. Keep the doctor away. Although you probably need a doctor, you shove one up your ass, but that's neither here nor there. Especially that some bitch gets stuck. Jesus. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But I can't get around the fact that I cannot tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that the people we went to church with don't support Nazism. And I'm not saying that as a jerk. I'm not saying that as I don't like Trump and you like Trump and I don't give a fuck about Trump. I don't give a shit about Trump. The fact that I can't say emphatically that you as a fellow Christian don't support Nazism. And then when you're asked, do you support Nazism? You're like, and you start defending Donald Trump. That's not what the question was asked. If you can't just outright say, yeah, no, I don't agree with Nazis. I mean, how many times was Donald Trump asked, do you renounce David Duke and all he stands for? And he's like, I don't know David Duke. And they show a clip of him months ago saying, oh yeah, I know David Duke, he's a good guy. He's a fucking lying piece of shit. And it just boggles my fucking mind. Because if you can't emphatically say, yeah, guess what, I don't like the Nazis. I like Donald Trump, but I don't like the Nazis. If you could say that, fine. But it's like pulling teeth with you motherfuckers. It's like people just can't just say that. And I don't get it. Do I like rectal probes? No. No hesitation. No hesitation. Do I want a dick up my ass? No. No hesitation. Do I like Nazis? No. No hesitation. Ask people from church. You like Nazis? Make America great. You're a fucking moron. You're a fucking moron. The instant fact that there's just any type of thought process for even a second. Do you believe in Nazis? Or not believe in that, but believe in the Nazi. Are you a supporter of Nazism? And it's just whatever. I'm telling you, I really do think that this is a fucking Mandela effect. Because there's no goddamn way that fucker became president. And the fact that it was him or Hillary for shit. A lot of people are like, oh, it's better than Hillary. The problem with Hillary, she was the devil that you knew. Versus the devil you don't know. Okay? That's the only reason I would have even remotely thought about supporting Hillary. Is because, again, you know the bullshit. And she was going to bring a lot of bullshit, just like Trump was going to bring a lot of bullshit. But there's some bullshit she wouldn't have brought. Like scaring the bejesus out of poor people and shit. And scaring sick people. I mean, you understand that in the last couple months, this year alone, that if they did like a year in review, at least one of the pictures is going to be people in wheelchairs being handcuffed and escorted from Capitol Hill for protesting. That basically the Republicans had handicapped people, protesters, like in actual wheelchairs, escorted from the building. What? What? Whatever, man. Hey, guys, you do what you fucking gotta do. Like, I mean, the problem is, I want to be a conservative. I want to be a Christian Republican. I want to be those things. But now when the fucking party is in such fucking stupid place right now. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't support that shit. Oh, you're a liberal, you're a libtard. Yeah, I am probably... I've always said I'm a socialist in the sense that I definitely think Grandma needs a loaf of bread more than Bill Gates needs another yacht. And of course, if you're Sean Hill, well, they build yachts, it trickle down and it creates jobs. How many fucking people does it take to make a yacht? I don't know. But I think by having somebody have a couple extra $100 in their pocket every month, and they go to Amazon, and Amazon just had a thing where they actually hired like 1,000 more people. I would much rather fucking do that, because guess what? I mean, think about it. My father worked in a wire mill. Think about all the wire that he could have theoretically created, or, you know, whatever the fuck they do, that could be in, like, the electronics or whatever that is being sold at Amazon. So to keep my father in business, a lot more than a fucking yacht or a helicopter would from a rich guy. I mean, see how many fucking yachts you think they're going to be buying, Sean, you fucking nit? Oh, they're going to have a couple $100,000 in their taxes back. They'll go buy another yacht. It'll be trickle down. Yeah, trickle downs work like a fucking charm, you asshole. It worked so well in the fucking 80s with Reagan. Anybody remember the economy back then? It sucked. Anybody remember 2008, 2009 when the fucking economy almost collapsed under Bush and his fucking tax cuts? Yeah, sure, that'll work. It'll work. Rich get richer, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Oh, you're rising tide rises all boats. Yeah, fuck you. Rise these fucking nuts on your fucking knee pads, you fucker. I'm sorry. Sean Hannity's got his fucking knee pads. He's off there sucking Trump off. That's all his life is for right now. That guy is going to hell, and he's too stupid to even realize it. Okay? He's a hypocritical fuck. Now, I'm a hypocritical fuck, but in a completely different way. Or at least I can acknowledge the fact that I'm a hypocrite. You know? But, I mean, seriously, you look at where the fucking money goes. It's like everything else. What agenda does Sean Hannity have? He wants to make more money. That's it. The people who bought him and buy him, they want their taxes cut so that they can have more money. Because it's actually kind of cute. Because they get hundreds of thousands of dollars I mean, think about it. You get $100,000. You pay $50,000 to a fucking, idiot in Congress to make laws. You still got quite a bit of money left over, and that's just for 1 year. I mean, think about it. They give you back hundreds of thousands of dollars. You give them back a couple $1,000s. That's the only trickle down you're going to see. And that just goes to a bunch of assholes who were overpaid to begin with. So you can take that however you want. It's disturbing. It's disgusting is what it is. Nobody's got the fucking heart to say it. I mean, seriously, you realize that Congress, was it September or May or something? That was 1 month. They had like 4 days where they had to work. And then they're coming and talking about welfare bums and, entitlements and health care. These motherfuckers can raise their own fucking salary. And they've got the nerve to talk about entitlements. The little farm subsidies and all this other bullshit. They're fucking hypocrites. I mean, seriously. Like, honestly, Mitt Romney talking about, 47% of people are on the dole. You really think that all of those 47% of the people who were on whatever wanted to vote for Obama the first time? You really think that? Yeah, maybe quite a few did. But I'm sure there was a few. See, because that's the problem. Conservatives have this idea that the only people on welfare are black people and Asians and shit. When you realize that the most welfare money goes to Republican states, red states, and they're mostly white people. The highest number of people on welfare in Republican states are white people. And they have this stereotype, it's just those damn black people. Well, again, this is the type of world we live in. Where I don't remember, like when I was 18 and shit, and it's like, I'm saved and I love Jesus, let's go save the world. And then you get out in the world and the world shits on you. But even when I was like all gung-ho and shit, I don't remember the Republicans being assholes. Now, yeah, I was into Rush Limbaugh and I was into all this other crap. And I admit, Rush was funny. Now he's just disturbing, but back then he was actually mildly funny. And I think back to it as like, was it really funny or was it like listen, I don't give a fuck about politics. Like you see those correspondence dinners, I don't give a fuck who it is. If it's somebody I don't like, they get up and they tell some jokes and they're funny. Hey, it shit's funny. Even if they make fun of something that I care about or something that matters to me and it's done in a funny way, hey, it's funny. I can't take that away. But some of this shit just isn't funny. I mean, some of this shit just is not funny. So, I don't know if it was... Rush was, like I said, I don't know if Rush was funny or if I was just... Because I was a Christian and those damn liberals. Yeah, you want to talk about Mandela effect? I'm living in a world where Chuck Schumer's starting to make fucking sense, and that disturbs me. I live in a world where not only Chuck Schumer makes sense, but Al Franken is making sense. Where Al Franken is actually probably one of the smarter guys in the room. I don't know what fucking universe this is. That ain't the universe I come from. Al Franken was an idiot. Okay. I come from the universe where Steven Seagal was actually cool. Steven Seagal ain't cool no more. Well, he hasn't been cool since he chopped off his ponytail, but whatever. I mean, seriously, there are some legitimate differences. We're talking like 180 differences here. And I'm sorry, this is not the universe that I come from. I refuse to be a part of this universe. If my original universe collapsed, if our original universe collapsed, whatever, and we all died, then I don't know what to make of it. I really don't know what to make of it. Because it's kind of fucked up. It really is kind of fucked up when you think about it. We could theoretically be living in an alternate universe. Or if it's a holographic universe and somebody put an update in here where everything's like 180. And I don't know how I feel about that. I gotta think about that. What if the multiverse is actually just different servers? I mean, think about that. That's kind of fucked up. I mean, we could be in different servers. A different server right now. Or the other server got crowded and bumped us into a new... Oh, dude, that would be cool too, because... Well, think about it. If that server got crowded, 7 billion fucking people, and they got crowded, and it bumped us into another universe... I don't know, man. That would be kind of cool. But it's like, I want to go home, dude. I really want to go home. Back to, when I wasn't scrolling down and seeing hairy-ass women, And again, whatever, but still. It's just ew, Ew. Like, I could deal with a little bit of hair, but... Like, some of these women, they need to, like, shave. Because when this shit starts, like, climbing up the leg and stuff... I'm not talking, like, hairy legs. I'm talking, like, from the crotchal region. And it literally goes from, where it's supposed to be. And it's like, crawling almost like moss up the leg and up and around the buttocks region. Okay, it's time to take a shave. Seriously, you need to shave that shit, woman. You really gotta put the trimmers to that fucker. Get the weed whacker out and stick it between your thighs, because holy shit, you got some nasty shit going on down there. Okay. I'm not being a hypocrite. Like, if a woman's like, hey, I don't like all that hair down there, you got hair on your butthole, I'd be like, okay, fine, I'll shave my ass. Okay. I'm not being a hypocrite. It's just, I don't know why, anybody want to be down up in that region. But, whatever, but just, it is what it is. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But seriously, it's like, I live in this fucked up universe now. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's just Facebook or what. Like, people are blowing each other up and shit, and gay Muslims and nightclubs, and although I do think country music deserved to get shot up, I ain't gonna lie about that. That was probably the best thing that could have happened out of that whole situation. I mean, you go to country music concert, you deserve to get shot. That's all I got to say on that. Like, there should be prerequisite just for entering the room. Just for entering the stadium. Like, you want to go see that shit? Like, you want to go see Garth Brooks and shit? Fuck having a guy outside taking tickets. They should just literally have one of those turnstiles, and there's a gun. You put a quarter in, and just as you walk through, the gun goes bang, shoots you like right in the ass. That's what you get for going to country music. That's all I got to say on that. Fuck country music. Fuck country music. You get off listening to that stuff, you need to get shot in the ass. I mean, seriously. Or at least in the sense of, maybe not with a bullet, but definitely a shot of Novocaine, like a big needle, should just be jammed up your fucking ass. So every time you sit, your ass is completely numb. And because I don't know if that would make it comfortable or uncomfortable. Because it'd be kind of weird, because it'd be like you're literally sitting on this cushion, literally, because you wouldn't be able to feel anything. So it's like, ooh, but you wouldn't be able to feel anything too. So it's kind of a catch-22, But seriously, that's what you get for going to country music. You can't pick a real fucking music genre to go to. Like, the idea that people actually spend money to go to that shit. Got in my pickup truck today. Went to the store. Ran over a skunk and it stunk up my house today. 'Cause I brought him home and I fucked his dead corpse. And then I ate him. Ate some roadkill today. I mean, seriously, what the fuck is that shit? What the fuck is that shit? I don't care about your fucking hillbilly life. The idea that you fucked a skunk and ate it, I don't give a fuck. In fact, he did it after the thing was already dead, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, seriously. Got me a belt buckle, size of Texas. Looks like a WWE championship belt. Got my spurs. Gonna go out there in the garden naked with my spurs and my belt. Can you imagine that? Some fucking hillbilly with a cowboy hat, spurs, and a belt. And nothing else on it. He's butt naked the rest of the way. He's out there doing gardening. Now, why is that not part of this reality? The fucking country, the country's singing Nudist Bandit. The gardening Nudist Bandit. Country music. Now that I could get behind. I could totally get behind that. See some old fat guy, literally in like a big ass belt buckle, spurs, and a cowboy hat. And like I said, butt naked the rest of the way. Down over doing gardening of like his petunias and shit. Out in the front yard. Out in like middle America somewhere. I could get behind that. But no, that's not part of my reality. My reality just keeps going and going like the Energizer fucking bunny. It ain't going anywhere. It's just spinning around, banging the drum. It ain't going anywhere fast, is what I'm saying. And what do you have to show for it? You got a fucking idiot as your president. Now, I can understand people didn't like Obama. Okay, fine. Fine. You know, but I gotta be honest with you, though. Speaking about presidents, since 2000, the idea that Obama was probably the sanest president we've had. I mean, think about it. George Bush and Al Gore. I mean, Al Gore lost his fucking mind. He did. He won the election, but he didn't win the courts, basically. He didn't win the court system. He went off the deep end. He did. He completely lost his fucking mind. Oh, and speaking of Al Gore, now people don't want to hear about this, but, and I'm not one of these liberal people, but people want to talk about climate change. Dude, if there's not a climate change, then how come the leaves in the fall, the autumn, are about 3.5 weeks late? The leaves right now are what they should be second week of September. This is like the 9th of October. Those leaves should already be gone. They should be bare. There should be like a few left, and by next week they should be gone. It starts mid-September, like second week, and it ends second week of October. Yeah, we're already the 8th of October, and the leaves are just now all turning. There's still some greens left. Not much, but there's a few. So we're talking this shit's like 3 weeks behind. 3.5, 4 weeks behind. And people, oh, climate change is made up. Dude, I'm seeing it out my goddamn window. No, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, it's all man-made. No, it's not all man-made. Look at a volcano. Okay, that pumps shit into the atmosphere as well. So I'm not going to sit there and, you know, like the liberals be, oh, it's all man-made. No. Not going to say that. But to sit there and deny that it exists, again, leaves are 3 weeks behind. And I don't know what to make of that. But whatever. But seriously, think about the presidents that we've had. That's 2000. You had Bush and Gore, Bush and Kerry, which I kind of wish I had. I wish I was kind of free of the Republican bullshit back when Kerry, the whole Swift boat thing. Like, I don't know if Swift boat was a thing, like a legitimate thing, or if it was just some stupid Republican Sean Hannity, oh, we don't like these guys, so Swift boat. Okay, and oh, Obama likes to put spicy mustard on his hamburger, and I don't know if it was shit like that, or if it was a legitimate issue. I don't remember. I don't remember at all. But like right now, I'm not right or left. I don't really consider myself independent either. Because when I hear people say, "Oh, I'm independent," it basically just means you're an idiot who can't make a decision. When I hear that, like I know what I believe in, and I'll be honest with you, right now I don't believe in either party. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, the Republicans are closer. Are they really? Are they closer? Based on what? Abortion? Like I said, a bunch of assholes who don't want to pay for it, and that's what you're gonna. Oh, the gay rights issue. What do you mean? What do you mean gay rights? That gay people shouldn't have the same rights as everybody else? No, I don't think they should have marriage per se, just in the actual definition, but they could have something that's co-equal, because obviously it's not the same. It's not. It's not. If marriage was always between a man and a woman, okay, fine, that's marriage, and you want something similar. So like I said, I was always for like a civil union, or something. You call it whatever you want. I call it a mirage or marriage, or some French version of it, whatever. Mage toi or some fucking thing. I don't know. Fuck you in the ass. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. Call it something different. Marriage 2.0. I don't give a fuck what you call it. But it's not the same as a traditional marriage. So if you want to... Okay, so if you want to do that, like, okay, there's traditional marriage, and then there's, you know, the broad scope of marriage. Okay, fine. I could deal with that, too. Actually, I probably could deal with that. But then people are going to downplay, oh, traditional marriage is, you know, stuck up, and it's this, that, and you know. No, it is what it is. You know, it's like if I go to the fucking store and I tell the woman with the hot ass behind the deli, you know, that I want pimento cheese, and I really meant, you know, whatever, Swiss cheese, and she gives me something that I didn't want, but I asked for it, it's like, you can't do that. Like, if I say, I want to get married, oh, what, you married a fag? No, I'm not marrying a fag. You marrying a woman? No, I'm not marrying a woman. I'm marrying my shoe. No, it's like, you can't do that. Anyway, I don't want to get into that stuff again. But this is the world that I live in, where it's just like, everything is backwards. It's like that Weird Al song, like, everything you think you know is wrong. It's like, up is down and short is long. It's like, what the fuck? And I'll be honest with you, it's just it's heartbreaking, and it's just heart-wrenching, because it's like, I want to go back the fuck home. I want to go back to my original universe where things made more fuck sense. Where I'm telling you right now, Kit Kat had a fucking dash. No, Kit Kat had a dash. Now, some of the Mandela effects are bullshit, and some of them are legit. That fucker had a dash. It just did. It did. And you cannot tell me otherwise. You cannot tell me that there was no dash in Kit Kat. It just, to me, it looks absolutely retarded without the dash in a Kit Kat. It was Kit dash Kat. And I remember, because I remember the imprint on the actual bar itself. It's frightening. It isn't just misremembering. I'm sorry, that one specifically is not misremembering. Because, like, I remember asking the old woman if it's Bernstein or Berenstain. And I don't think she knew the difference either way. So, I remember asking her as a kid, is it Berenstain or Berenstein? I think she said Bernstein. Because they had the E or whatever. I have no idea. Or Stain. Oh, fuck, I don't remember. I don't care anymore. Yeah, they had the E. It's Berenstein Bears. I don't remember. Whatever. But it's some weird, freaky shit, though. And it just makes you feel like you're out of place in the universe that you're supposed to be adhering to. And Because either we're all just fucked up and we're remembering things wrong, which I suppose is infinitely likely, or there was a computer update in the holographic universe and there's a few bugs that needed to work out. Or my personal favorite, those fucker assholes at Google who just completely fucking ruin YouTube, but whatever. I think those motherfuckers sent their stupid AI back in time, almost like Terminator. Instead of looking for John fucking Connor, he's looking for stupid shit to just fuck everything up. Because, I mean, think about that. If you could manipulate something... Because I don't necessarily think you can send physical matter back in space, but I think you could send an AI. I definitely think you could send information back. But like physical matter, I don't think you could. And even if you did, I don't know if the physical matter... Because I have this view of time that I don't know if it's correct, but like I don't see it like everybody else does. Like, oh, you can just go back and kill your grandfather. I don't see it that way. Because I think matter matters. So if you went back and killed your grandfather, you still exist. Your father still exists. But for that moment in time, your grandfather just ceases to exist. Now, how is that possible? Because it already happened. And matter, like I said, matters. Now, you can make the argument that, okay, I went back and killed my grandfather, yet I'm still here, simply because I created a paradoxical universe, or not even a paradoxical universe, but a secondary universe, where my lineage stops, but I'm still there in the past at that moment. Which, you could maybe make that argument, but I wonder, what if it's not like the Langoliers? Not like I said before in that one clip that the big worms are eating everything, but what if you go back and there's like physical stuff there, but like the air is not as fresh, the matches and the soda's not as fizzy, and you have to catch up the time for that shit to take effect. I don't know. I think that would be kind of an interesting concept. So if you send an AI back, like there's no physical people there, because they've already moved forward in time, but you could go back, like let's say to the first printing press, and change the Bible what it says, change a few words here or there, because the printing press would still be there, the physical place would still be there, but the actual people running it wouldn't be there, and the actual printed book wouldn't be there. Now, if you went back and you manipulated it, then every minute second of every single detail of life would then continue on with a misprint, and you couldn't do anything. You couldn't do anything about it, because eventually that would catch up to our current time, which is why some people are saying that maybe the Bible had been rewritten. Because the Bible does mention that you should keep it in your heart. Like, why do you need to keep it in your heart? Because, in case there's a time of trouble, you need to be able to recall that shit. Well, what if this is the case at the time of trouble? Like, for example, the wolf lay down with the lamb. When the fuck did the wolf lay down with anything? It's always been the lion lay down with the lamb. That was the whole point. It's like the lion roams about seeking whom he may devour. That was kind of the point. Like, we are the lambs, and, well, I don't want to say that the devil is a lion, because that's not what that was saying. But, it's like the word picture. You got a lion who would eat the lamb, and then there's peace in the universe, basically, at that point. So, now all of a sudden there's wolf eating the lamb. It's just, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't ever remember any time anybody ever saying that the fucking wolf was laying down with anything. I don't remember the wolf doing a damn thing. So if you got fucking Google AI going back in time and changing the very first printing press, then that means every single Bible that we own would say wolf lay down with the lamb instead of the lion lay down with the lamb. And hell, if it was going back in time, you could go all the way back to when they were putting the fucker together. And like what books to exclude and shit. I don't know, that's interesting. I mean, can you imagine it? What do you think about that? Because the way it would work is that physical matter would move along time as if it's like a stream. Like, imagine some people in a little canoe and they're just going down the river. Well, the river is still there. The river is still there. All the rocks and shit and the trees and shit and the wooded area, that's all still there. But the physical matter, like the people, the conscious people, the conscious animals, the conscious, everything that's got a consciousness has moved forward. Or technically, this is the interesting thing about consciousness, if you were to go back in time, people would actually be frozen still because they wouldn't be moving because the consciousness wouldn't technically be there. So every single solitary second, it's almost like a movie strip that's not moving. It's just, it's like, so like you'd have one film strip where, you're starting to raise your hand, and another one where your hand's a little higher and a little higher after that, and so on and so forth. And the next thing you know, you're doing a pose and you're smiling. It would be like this lifeless, non-moving thing because your consciousness is what animates you. So even though time is still there, no one's conscious of it because the consciousness has moved forward into the future. See, now that's an interesting concept too, which is similar to what I was saying earlier, except I was negating like all the people actually being there. So think about what that would entail. Like you got the first printing press of the Bible, Gutenberg or whatever, Steve Gutenberg Bible, whatever. And they're like, oh, okay, this is it. Let's go to print. And then they move forward, they print it, blah, blah, blah. Well, this fucking AI goes back, manipulates some of the words, and then they print it like they would, and time would catch up. So that when you go back to your fucking Bible that maybe you got passed down from your grandmother or great-grandmother, it says stupid shit in there that doesn't actually compute with reality. Can you imagine that? You could manipulate the future that way by changing the past. That's fucked up. That's totally fucked up. Because what would happen is you'd have all these people like, okay, this is done, we've proofread it, it's perfect, and then some fucking AI goes in there, changes that shit somehow, and then they print it because they thought it was completed, and the next thing you know, it becomes a standard. Think about that. That's some cool shit, actually. That's some fucked up shit, though, but it's cool. Because, like I said, I don't think time works the way a lot of people want it. A lot of people think, oh, time is linear. Okay, well, if it's linear, and it could very well be, even in my theory, it's linear on some level. Again, even if it's linear, like you want to talk about like string theory or quantum leap or something like that, that's fine. I mean, I suppose you could throw that in there. But it doesn't have to be. And like I said, I think matter matters. So it's like the matter is technically still there. It just depends on where the consciousness is. Like, could I go back into the future and, interact with my father? No, because his consciousness isn't there. His consciousness is at the apex of the future. So, because, I mean, think about it. That's kind of how human beings work. Like, you die, there's no more interaction with you. Because your body is not animated. So if your body's not being animated by your consciousness, or, alive, then you cease to exist. So technically, as our consciousness moves through the time stream, our physical bodies may actually be there, like in like almost like a mannequin, And every possible second that goes by, you see everything kind of moves, and it's like going in this weird slow motion kind of a thing, even. Because it's still going through the paces. Because each second would be a different... actually, I guess like every millisecond or whatever would be like a new experience. And you would need a consciousness to acknowledge that. So if you got a consciousness who went back in time and is going through time from the past, they would be able to see those moments. But there's no other consciousnesses there, so those bodies are just kind of going through these motions. That would be cool. I mean, that actually makes some sense in a weird, fucked up sort of way. I mean, it does in a... No, actually, it actually does. Especially if you take it into consideration with, well, just about every aspect of this. I mean, like, what is time and all that crap? You know, time and space and bullshit. And like, what if they're one and the same? Like, if you don't take up matter or take up mass, you don't take up time. Time and space. What if they are one and the same? So in other words, like, if you died, you are outside of time. Your consciousness is outside of time. But the only reason you're in time is because you have a physical body and your consciousness is attached to that body. That's the only reason we can acknowledge time. Now, to be fair, even if we all died and there was no consciousness around, the earth would still get swallowed up by the sun would, expand and destroy, 5 billion years from now, whatever. But then the question comes, would the earth actually continue to exist? It would be coded in, so to speak, but would it actually be there? It's like a video game. You go through a fucking door, there's a load time, and then you go into the part that's there. But if you go back through the door, it has to load in that other part. So it's not technically always loaded in. So like the part you just came from isn't always loaded in. It's there, and there are things that says, okay, these have to be rendered if there's, if the person crosses this threshold. Because, the consciousness is, I don't know, that's some cool shit when you think about it, though. What if time works like that? Like, it's there. What if the entire universe works like that? Like, we keep hearing about, oh, we're expanding. Well, what are we expanding into? What if we're not expanding? What if we're not expanding? The universe is expanding. What if it's not? Now you say, well, the universe is expanding, so how could it not expand? Well, the only reason it's expanding is because we're looking at it. It is spooky action. We are looking, therefore it is moving forward and further and further out. So what if we stop looking? Does that mean that anything past the point that we can see, does that mean it doesn't exist? Or is it there, it just hasn't been rendered yet? What if it's only being rendered because we're looking at it? That is some cool shit, though. I mean, that is some seriously cool shit. And if that's the case, then what? Imagine if time works that way. What if the only time is right here and now, this exact second? Everything that happened a millisecond ago is gone. Unless you could take your consciousness and go back, you could view that. And as long as, however long your consciousness is in the past, let's say you went back a week and you stayed 3 hours, you could relive those 3 hours, even though they're technically not there. They're there, but they're not there. It's like Schrodinger's cat. It's both alive and dead at the same time. Dude, that's some cool fucking shit. That is some legitimately interesting fucking shit when you think about that. That's some deep shit, actually. Shit. And there's actually some scientific theory behind that shit. There's some idea. There's actual theories behind that. So I'm not just talking on my ass here. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not, No, actually, I'm not. I mean, there's a legitimate theory about this. Because that would be fucking cool. Because one interesting fact about the universe is the further we look out, we keep finding more and more. The deeper we look, microscopically, we keep going further and further and further and further. Well, eventually there comes a point where you can't go any further. Like, okay, if we go as far as we can, we find particles. Well, what are particles made up of? Little bundles of energy. What are those made up of? You just keep going further and further and further down, but yet stuff keeps getting found. Now, again, does that mean it's there, or we're just discovering that it's there? Because it might not be there. It's like the door that or the room you just came from in a video game. You go through the door, the room that you just came from no longer exists. It's coded in there. So if you do turn around and say, I'm going to open this door, you can go back into that, but it's not actually there. The only thing that's loaded is the room that you're in currently. And again, what if time works like that? So I basically had two different time theories here. One is that you go back and kill your... Well, no, actually, they're one and the same, because if you go back and kill your father, one of two things happen. Is that you can view that... Actually, technically, no, you can't, because if I went back and killed my father, or killed my grandfather, I would only be killing him for that moment. Yet every other single solitary microsecond still exists. So I might be able to take him out, might be able to snuff him out of like 1 or 2 seconds of the universe, but everything else is still there. It's like a film strip. You cut out 1 or 2 of the little frames, you can still watch the movie. It might be a jump right there or a hiccup right there, but the rest of the movie is still there. So what if time is like that? So you can't actually kill your father or grandfather or whatever. And even if you could, I still think matter matters. I still think, even if I went back, killed my grandfather, I still exist. Now again, whether that's creating an alternate universe, or, which I don't think it would, I still think you'd still be in the original universe. But that your grandfather would just cease to exist. But yet somehow, everything else would try to right itself and still be viable. Now how that would be possible, I don't know. Because, because everything else happened. See, that's the thing. It happened. It just didn't happen. It's weird. But if you throw in my other idea, then it totally makes sense. Where it's more of like a video game, like I said. That totally makes sense. And if you take something that isn't organic, like let's say the AI was... I don't know if AI could be considered a consciousness. I don't know if you could ever make it. See, the problem with AI, that AI will never be human. Like if you play like a Destiny, or you play Halo, where they have good AI, or they used to anyway. The problem is those characters, those bad guys, I mean, they shoot grenades like John fucking Elway. It's like oh, you're gonna be over there, and it goes and lands like right at your feet, and they're halfway across the map. And there's no way logically, realistically, they could have made that throw. There's just no way. So, if you're talking AI, you would have to code in a bunch of shit to make it real. Like if you wanted to create a soul, or create a consciousness, if you will, then you'd have to create a lot of variables. Like for example, if, I don't know, let's say the person hasn't slept all day, their decision making might be a little bit off. And you need to code that in. So no, because what can happen is the AI would make 100% choices every single time. And if it's given the option of, kill 100 people to save 1,000,000 people, obviously you're going to kill 100 people. They're always going to make that decision first. They're always going to make the logical choice. So if you start with the logical choice and then factor in things like adrenaline. So maybe instead of them making 100% accurate throw, maybe they make 98% accurate throw. Okay. Then throw in fatigue, throw in hunger, throw in, the sun hitting your eye just right. So now instead of, 98%, now they're maybe down to 70% or 76% or something. And even then it would still be kind of questionable. But they've got, a 76% chance of making that shot perfect. Now, can you make a shot perfect? Sure. Could I make a shot perfect? Sure. Is it going to happen all the time? Probably not. But the problem with the AI, especially in the video games, they make impossible shots all the time. So like I said, you'd have to factor in. So could you actually make an AI that's indistinguishable from a human being? I don't know about that. I mean, just shy of mapping out their brain somehow, and making like a clone that way or some sort of weird thing like that. Instead of doing something that way, you could, I don't know. But AIs are kind of funny because I don't think you could ever truly get a perfect AI, because a perfect AI would have to be not perfect. And you can code them to always be perfect. So, because a perfect AI would be as humanly possible. It just would. Like, for example, you got these things like Alexa and all this other stuff. I mean, do you want to hear a sexy female voice, or do you want to hear, I mean, what do you want to hear, Obviously, you'd rather hear the sexy voice. Or the more humanish voice, I should say. So, I don't know. And, again, having an AI be perfect, you have to make it not perfect. And, I mean, unless your whole point is to make it perfect, and then it just is what it is, or it makes the perfect shot every single solitary time. But if you're trying to blur the lines between perfection and humanity, then, like I said, you've got to factor in negatives. You've got to factor in things. Hell, you've got to factor in things that don't even, compute sometimes. Like things that don't even technically affect it, like wind, I mean, wind could change the way your AI throws. Like if you're talking video game here, like your AI, by the time you throw in like fatigue or height and distance and all that shit, maybe instead of 100% they're down to maybe 76%. But then you throw in outside factors again, and this is even if you're talking like holographic universe too. Like if somebody created this as a universe, they had to do the same thing. Like, I mean, think about just laying in bed, all the things that can affect you. The light coming through the window can affect you. Just blind you, or, maybe it's been on your fucking bare naked leg all night. And you wake up, and you wake up late, 11 o'clock, and it's been there since 2 hours. Next thing you get a fucking suntan on your fucking leg. Stupid shit. Just, I mean, you got to compensate for all these stupid little fucking things. Like, rain and weather and... I mean, think about that. If this is a holographic universe, the amount of shit that has to work in conjunction with other shit that they would have to have typed in and created and, I mean, think about that. Like, okay, it's rained 100 times and... there were birds picking at the tin. and some of the rain got down in one of the crevices. Next thing you know, your roof is leaking. Well, I mean, just think about all the little minute details, and that every single solitary thing that exists on some level has to potentially coincide with and work in conjunction with every single thing else. Now imagine if, like, I mean, think about people who, I'm not sure what it's called, but with, like, they're allergic to the light. Now think about that. Where they have to be inside, like that movie, The Others, where the kids were, like, trapped inside, although there's a reason for that, but, like, there are people who just can't go out into the light. Gingers and shit, soulless motherfucker, whatever. So, now does that affect everybody? No. But it does affect certain people. That's another thing you gotta factor in here. Some people, like if you take just the DNA and the amount of shit that could possibly potentially happen through dominant and recessive traits, and the amount of individual different people that could have created, just us alone, the amount of potential we could have been. Like, this sperm made it instead of that sperm, or, they did it on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday. I mean, think about the amount of stuff that could make us totally different. I mean, just the fact your daddy got horny and your mom, was a whore at the exact moment that shit happened. It's the only reason you exist. Think about that. Now, here's another thing. Would we exist if our parents had sex the day after? Or 10 minutes earlier? Would we exist? Or if the other sperm that was like half an inch behind me, what if that fucker had reached the goal first? Think about that. Would we be different people, or are we just conditioned to be who we are? Based upon, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to think about. Because if that's the case, there's a gazillion different possibilities that I could possibly be. And every one of those has to interact with the world on some different level. Like, okay, I've got a propensity to eat a lot of junk food. Okay, so you get fat. Well, what if I had a metabolism that wasn't completely dead? I could eat a lot of shit and still be thin. Think about that. Somebody who likes to go outside. Somebody who likes to go do this, that, or the other. Which is not me, but let's say it was. So again, you have to put factors upon factors upon factors. And then how do those factors all change? I mean, I don't know. Could you create a holographic universe? I mean, you could, but the amount of code that you'd have to input, that, I mean, think about it. You'd have to create a dynamic weather system. You'd then have to factor in, I mean, shit, think about it. Even things like storms you'd have to figure out. Well, like, okay, the water here is warmer and the air is colder, and they mix together and blah blah blah, and it only affects this area but not that area. I mean, you basically have to write all that stuff. Is it possible? I mean, I suppose it could be. I mean, I've seen certain video games that are pretty damn interesting in that regard. So I don't know. It's kind of, it takes me a long fucking time, I'll tell you that much. But I suppose if you're outside of time, I guess it doesn't matter. If you're God and you don't have a physical body, that means you're outside of time. Because time is not beholden to you because you don't have a physical body. Now think about that. I don't know. It's just... Anyways, you know what? I'm tired. I don't want to talk anymore. I wanted to get that out about the stupid Nazi fuckers and people supporting them and all that shit. Anyways, I'm done.